Have you ever gazed up at the vast expanse of the night sky and found yourself lost in thought? Wondering if humanity could ever inhabit another planet? It's a concept that has been romanticized in science fiction for decades. But the possibility of colonizing Mars is gradually becoming a reality. However, the red planet presents us with a myriad of unique challenges, and despite our best efforts, we are still left with the question: why can't we live on Mars? In this video, we will delve into the complexities of colonizing Mars, exploring the obstacles that stand in our way. So, sit back, relax, and join us as we embark on this journey to uncover the secrets of Mars. Before we get started, if you're new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you can be the first to see our latest videos. The first hurdle to colonizing Mars is its atmospheric conditions. Mars has a thin atmosphere composed primarily of carbon dioxide, with small amounts of nitrogen, argon, and oxygen. Due to the absence of a strong magnetic field, Mars is constantly bombarded by solar winds that strip away its atmosphere, making it almost impossible to breathe. To make matters worse, the thin atmosphere also means that Mars is incredibly cold, with temperatures averaging around -63 degrees Celsius, -81 degrees Fahrenheit. This harsh environment makes it extremely challenging to establish a habitable environment for humans. To survive on Mars, we would need to create a self-contained ecosystem with an atmosphere that can sustain human life. However, this is easier said than done, as we would need to artificially create a pressurized and oxygen-rich environment that can protect us from the elements of Mars. One potential solution to this problem is to create a series of habitats that are interconnected and sealed off from the Martian environment. These habitats would need to be pressurized and heated to provide a comfortable living environment for the astronauts. One of the primary challenges of this approach is maintaining a steady supply of breathable air and removing carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. One possible solution to this problem is to use plants to generate oxygen and remove carbon dioxide from the air. Plants are capable of photosynthesis, a process that converts carbon dioxide into oxygen and organic compounds. By growing plants in the habitats, we could create a closed-loop system that would recycle the air and keep it breathable for humans. However, growing plants on Mars is not as simple as it sounds. The Martian environment is harsh, and the soil is nutrient-poor, making it challenging to grow crops. Another solution is to use technology to generate breathable air. One promising technology is the Sabatier process, which converts carbon dioxide and hydrogen into methane and water vapor. The methane can be used as fuel, while the water vapor can be split into oxygen and hydrogen using electrolysis. This approach would require a steady supply of hydrogen, which would need to be imported from Earth or generated using solar power on Mars. Another obstacle to colonizing Mars is radiation. Mars is exposed to high levels of cosmic radiation due to its thin atmosphere and lack of a magnetic field. On Earth, our atmosphere and magnetic field protect us from these harmful particles, but on Mars, astronauts would be exposed to dangerous levels of radiation. That could cause DNA damage and increase the risk of cancer. Protecting astronauts from this radiation would require significant investment in shielding technology and radiation-resistant materials, which would add to the cost and complexity of a Mars mission. One solution to this problem is to use natural resources on Mars to create radiation shielding. For example, the Martian soil contains a high concentration of iron oxide, which could be used to create radiation shields. Another solution is to bury the habitats underground, as soil and rock can provide significant protection against radiation. Another potential solution is to use a magnetic shield to protect astronauts from radiation. One proposal is to place a large magnetic dipole at the L1 Lagrange point between Mars and the Sun. This dipole would generate a magnetic field that would deflect solar wind particles away from Mars, reducing the amount of radiation that reaches the surface. However, this is still a theoretical concept that would require significant technological development and investment. The third major obstacle to colonizing Mars is the planet's low gravity. Mars has only 38% of Earth's gravity, which could have significant physiological effects on the human body over long periods. Studies have shown that prolonged exposure to low gravity can cause muscle and bone loss, changes in cardiovascular function, and other health problems. One solution to this problem is to use artificial gravity. This can be achieved by rotating the habitats to create centrifugal force, which would simulate Earth's gravity. However, this approach would require large structures and a significant amount of energy to maintain the rotation. Another solution is to use exercise and medication to counteract the effects of low gravity. Astronauts on the International Space Station, ISS, currently use a combination of exercise and medication to prevent muscle and bone loss, but it is unclear if this approach would be sufficient for long-term stays on Mars. Finally, the distance between Mars and Earth presents significant challenges in terms of communication and resupply. Mars is an average of 140 million miles away from Earth, which means that communication between the two planets is subject to a significant delay. Depending on the position of the planets in their orbits, it can take anywhere from 4 to 24 minutes for a message to travel between Mars and Earth. This communication delay could have serious consequences in the event of an emergency, as mission control on Earth would be unable to provide immediate assistance. To mitigate this risk, astronauts on Mars would need to be highly trained and capable of dealing with emergencies on their own. In terms of resupply, it would be challenging to send regular shipments of food, water, and other supplies to Mars due to the high cost and logistics involved. This means that astronauts would need to rely on self-sufficiency and resourcefulness to survive on Mars. They would need to grow their own food, recycle water, and generate their own energy using solar panels or other renewable sources. In conclusion, the question of why we can't live on Mars is a complex one that involves a multitude of factors. The atmospheric conditions, radiation levels, low gravity, and distance from Earth all present significant challenges that must be overcome before we can establish a sustainable human presence on the red planet. However, despite these obstacles, the dream of colonizing Mars remains a powerful motivator for space exploration and technological advancement. With continued investment and innovation, we may one day overcome these challenges and realize the dream of becoming a multi-planetary species. That's it, we've reached the end of the video. If you made it this far, you're one of the best people out there. Before you go, make sure to give us a like to let us know you enjoyed the video. And if you have any questions that pop into your head in the middle of the night, feel free to leave them in the comments below so we can answer them for you.